Dudes Like Us. It is another fantastic Tuesday. Take another week towards Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
One
Lots
more.
of Christmas parties
It is.
coming around the corner.
The next podcast will be the week of Christmas, if we're able to do it.
That's right. Yeah, I've got a lot going on this week. I am, my oldest son is graduating from college.
Very exciting.
He called me on Thursday of last week, all excited. He goes, well, I'm all done. Took my whatever, turned in my last project or whatever the hell it was.
Yep. I'm done with college.
Yeah. He's like, you want to buy me a bottle of vodka?
Is that what he said?
Yes.
That's a classic Dudes Like Us moment, having our kids graduate college after all the money spent to push them through, and the conniving and the hard work, not only just going to school, but trying to maintain status of being able to eat, going,
Right.
having to work and multiple jobs sometimes to support yourself while you're going to school.
Yeah. Did your son do that? I mean,
He worked.
Did he work pretty much the whole time?
When he got to Texas Tech, he worked. When he was at Stephen F. Austin, he was playing football. He didn't have time to do anything.
That's right. Yeah, they don't have time to do anything.
And that screwed him up time-wise. Because
That's demanding.
It's demanding, and his grades weren't the greatest. And a lot of the classes that he took at SFA didn't transfer for whatever reason. So he had to retake some stuff. So he's about a quarter behind, right? So actually a little bit more because he took summer classes and then the fall. So, but he's done. He's going to live out there until June, the end of his lease. He's going to work full time.
It sounds kind of BS-y, the whole classes that don't transfer. I mean, Preston had some issues like that too.
Yeah.
You would think that they just have. Come on, man. Get with the program. You should have universal freaking classes.
I think part of it is I can make more money to make you take that class again.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
too. There's no
Well,
incentive for them to accept everything.
I took Calculus
None.
1. How come that Calculus 1 doesn't transfer over to whatever school's Calculus 1?
That's because it wasn't taught by Senior Joseph.
Mhm.
Or whoever.
But they do know. I mean, as long as you do a little bit of research, you can figure out what transfers and what doesn't.
Correct.
Prior to registering during the summer and all that
but
kind of stuff.
sometimes,
But yeah, it's very frustrating when you find out
if
it
you're
doesn't.
all in and you're like, hey, man, this is the school I'm going to. I plan on graduating here. This
And then
is what
something
I'm
happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And then
life
you transfer.
happens, and you're
Yeah.
like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this, man. This
Right.
was a bad decision. And then you try to cut your losses, lick your wounds, and all of a sudden you're like, fuck.
I mean, I understand if classes don't transfer to a new major within the same.
Well, he was in the same major.
See,
Everything.
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
Like,
so some
you know
of
what
the
I mean? If you go from journalism to medical or something within the same college,
well, these were medical
or
classes.
even within schools.
So these were medical classes, and
Yeah,
I guess maybe I need to understand is okay. SFA called it this, but did Texas Tech, even though it's called that, did they teach something slightly different? Was it a different level? I don't know. But some of his core medical classes didn't transfer, so he had to go back and take some beginning classes.
Yeah.
So he was a junior taking classes with freshmen to get back to where he needed to be.
And the other interesting thing is, I would imagine not all classes are created equal, even if they're the exact same class in different.
be.
And that's exactly why when somebody struggles to take a class in a college, they're like, "Wow, this is really hard at Texas Tech. I'm just going to take it at Blinn, or I'm going to take it at a junior college because
Right.
it's a lot easier. Then I'll just transfer." Right.
Sometimes that doesn't transfer.
Well, I mean, even if it does transfer, it's not the same caliber, right? So maybe
Correct.
I don't know.
what you mean.
Maybe that's. I don't know. I guess.
Well, what you're saying is community college is not as hard as a regular college.
Well, I think that's it. Well, isn't that the general consensus?
I don't know.
That
I know it's less expensive.
right? That's a good point. I mean, I guess you could argue that either way. A lot of times, it's people say it's a better education because smaller classes, you're more engaged. There's more one-on-one with the teacher. The teacher is more interested in whether or not you're getting it, right, and whether you're really learning. And then versus the big colleges where you're one of 300 people sitting in a room and no one gives a crap.
Right. I was in many of those. my
I know, me
freshman year.
too. Me too.
A huge auditorium with 400 people in there.
Right.
I was
And
sitting
so-
at the top trying to read they had overheads at the time.
Right.
No computers. So they had overheads, and you're trying to read what he's scribbling on his thing that he's got blown up to the size of a football
Right.
field, so everyone could see it.
Well,
Right.
and then on top of that, so even at the big colleges where they have small classes, Do you feel like you got more out of those small classes than you did the classrooms of
Well,
300?
I know once I got up to the upper level classes,
Yeah.
it was classes of 10,
Right.
12. And yeah, I mean,
You got
you'd
more
sit-
out of it.
I did
Yeah. So I mean, I think you could argue either way.
because the professors know you,
That's right.
right? You're just a glob in the auditorium when you're in those huge 400 person classes,
Right.
right? And you go up
Yeah.
to your teacher, and they'd be like, whatever,
Yeah, for sure.
you know.
Well, so let me ask you. So this is your first son. That
Correct.
Yeah. So your first kid out of college, which
Right.
is huge.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I've been through that with Dylan. So, so he did it in 4.5 or
4 1/4. Yeah,
Four-
about 4.5. If you count summer, 4.5. Right.
You know what's interesting? So I took 5 years, right? And I remember that being kind of the norm when I was going to college. Like everybody, like getting out in 4 years.
Well, people
was
didn't want
tough
to get
do.
out of college. They loved the lifestyle, so they
Yeah.
wanted to be a professional college student.
Well,
So there were people when I was there who were like, "Yeah, I'm going to be here for another 2 years." I'm like, "Really? I'm getting out."
but that wasn't my motivation. My motivation was just finding the balance between the number of classes you were
I'd love to
taking.
go to school forever.
Well,
Well, that's a lot of people
Right.
do.
It's just interesting. And now my oldest did it in 4. Dawson's going to do it in 4, and I was like, shit. Why did I take 5?
Well, Julie
What the hell?
Julie did it in 3,
Okay.
and Steven's girlfriend did it in 3.
Okay.
Just depends on how you
Do-
stack your classes. It
Well, it
depends
is.
on
Well,
like Stephen and his girlfriend were able to take advantage of getting college credits while in high school.
that's
Yeah.
it. I think that's
that was-
actually the biggest part
Yeah.
because Dylan walked into Arkansas being almost a sophomore.
Yep, that's the way Steven was.
That's huge. And look at the money you save.
Oh no,
I mean,
was
when
huge.
you have that opportunity to take that kind of stuff, you can even take college classes while you're in high school.
that's what they are. The dual credit.
Right.
They
right.
count for your high school credits, but they also count for your and they're your core freshman classes, right? English 101,
yep.
history, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So you get those out of the way, and most of those will transfer.
Yeah, it's exciting.
There's a
I'm stoked for you,
there's a
man.
huge campaign where some folks are trying to teach kids that be homeschooled. Don't go to college. There's no reason for it. It's just like, man, you can, you need, like, I mean, there are disadvantages of being homeschooled, which could be more of a social growth. But outside of that, I think sometimes public schools hurt kids in their brains, with the structures that they have.
Oh, you mean like being indoctrinated? Like wokeness?
The potential for that, but just, I don't really, that's just kind of the buzz I'm hearing. I don't personally believe it. I think public school right now, there's a lot of outside influence that wants to teach like that white
CRT.
privilege. What is the CRT mean? I keep forgetting.
Critical race theory.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
that kind of
basically
bullshit.
it's basically the white are the oppressors.
Yeah, but they're
And-
teaching that in high school too.
Yeah, but
That's not just exclusive
all
to college.
that shit needs to be yanked. I mean, because that's
Well,
just bullshit.
Some districts are working it into, even though it's not in the curriculum, it's in
Their own lesson plan.
the lesson plan. They call it
That-
they call that something, but it's
that is some racist shit.
It
man.
is.
That is some racist
yeah,
shit.
it's not right.
And it needs to be. They need to yank all that crap out. It sucks what happens. It sucks what happened to some of these other races. But you know what? Life moves on. It sucks for me. I grew up in El Paso. You know what? I was a minority there, and I got the shit beat out of me and treated like shit. Couldn't understand Spanish, talking shit about me, jumping me. I know. I get it. So, fuck off. You don't. Where are my reparations? For
Right.
getting my ass whooped over there. I mean, what about me? I don't want that shit. I don't care. You know why? Because I'm a man.
boy.
No, I don't care. No, that's not what I meant to say. It's because I'm better than that. I don't need that. Life is a huge Bible lesson. And that's what I think. And as we say in every single podcast, we need to put God back into our everyday lives. And even if you don't have an air of spiritualness about you, you still have some sort of air of humanity about you. And the basis of that is derived from the Bible. You got the 10 Commandments. That's all just good shit, man. I want to pound this every podcast because that needs to be the common denominator in the message that we send to dudes like us. Because walk the walk, talk the talk.
I mean, it's all about having a moral compass, right?
Well, that's what it is.
Where is your moral compass coming from?
Exactly.
Where is it? Where is it coming from? Right? There are some people that are great. They don't believe in God, right? They're not spiritual at all, but they got a great moral basis from their parents, and they're very moral people. I don't want to say that people who are not believers are immoral people, because they're not. But and then of course there's spiritual believers that are horribly immoral.
Well, sure.
my
Look at
God.
the Catholic priests and the kids.
Oh, yeah.
That whole
it's,
scandal.
It's a
Horribly.
huge scam. And
Yeah,
you know,
horribly immoral.
I'm
Right.
not impressed with the Roman Catholic, the whole program either. I mean,
Right.
what the fuck's going on in the
Yeah.
Rome right now?
But I think that
Is there something going on?
Well, no.
Oh, just talking generalities.
Just in general,
Oh, yeah.
you know, they have it's a secret thing going on down there. They have their own. I mean, you see all these movies and the conspiracy theories,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're kind of like, it's just like the power of suggestion. You're like, I don't know what's real, what's not real. Do they really have some sort of secret shit going on there? I mean, is it not Illuminati, but are they pulling the strings of major heavy hitters on the planet? You know, you
I
never.
think they used to, right? The
they always have. Oh, throughout history, they definitely have.
The Pope used to be an extremely powerful person,
and
if
there's
not
no
the
reason to
most.
think there isn't, influence and stuff like that going on now. Remember,
well,
power corrupts.
but you know,
It doesn't
just-
matter what kind of power it is, but if you
But
have power
You asked
and
the
you're
question.
human, you're corrupted.
You asked the question: is there something going on? Yes, there is stuff going on. All right, but right before Biden got into office, he put out the Pope put out the decree of yanking all the resources of money across the planet and bringing it back to the Vatican.
Hmm.
So that's a thing.
I mean,
Really?
Like, hey, look, there's a church up the street. What are your reserves? Because the church takes in money. The church keeps the money for the church, and then half that money, I don't know if it's half, and then there's money allocated to go back to Rome.
right.
In every single church all over the God blessed planet.
Right.
And there's some of these, they just hold them. So there's some banks that they send them perhaps maybe in Arkansas. Like there's some sort of, I'm just saying that. I'm not saying there is. But it's some general bank, and they put it all in there. Well, the Pope put out a thing, said, hey, man, pull all our money in.
Did they use
Pull it.
FTX in cyber
Yeah, is
security?
it all in Bitcoin?
It's all in Bitcoin.
That is something else. Those death in the crypto. The people want to know the top 3 crypto execs died just weeks apart.
Yeah, they did.
Whoa! I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, they were young guys too, I think.
Well,
weren't they?
one of them
Are
was
they-
53.
Were
But
they?
I thought. Well, the last one was a young guy. At least a picture of it was.
Were they? Was it a suicide?
They're cloven in two.
well, so you
Long
have
ways.
3 of the
Wow.
most prominent figures in cryptocurrency industry have all inexplicably died in recent weeks. News of the unbelievable and surprising demise has caused a frenzy on social media in the form of conspiracy theories and called for explanations. You have Nikolai Mushagan, whatever, age 29. You
I
have
probably was pretty close.
Vyacheslav Taran, and he was 30.
Wow.
And
Probably a billionaire.
I'm sorry, it was Tyantian Kulander. He was 30, and then you
Wow.
I think
then you have the
probably-
I go by
Vyacheslav Taran.
properly pronounced
All right,
taint.
look, so there was one that was 29, one that was 30, and there was one that was 53. So
How do they die?
Well, I'll tell you the
Like bullets?
the one of them, a Russian, recently died in a strange helicopter crash near Monaco, making his death the most
Monaco?
recent of a what did I say, Monaco, and making
Monaco.
the most recent of the string of disasters that have remained unexplained. After taking off from Switzerland, the helicopter crashed in the tourist town of Villefranche-sur.
Was there a missile contrail like going up to it?
Well, I don't know. Taran is the co-founder of trading and investment platforms like Libertex, Forex Club, etc. Then the other one was Taint
Yeah.
Kulander.
Okay.
Taintinian, whatever. He was 30, co-founder of several different platforms. After starting with a group, actually, it doesn't say how he died. Huh, weird.
So this is all in
Unexpected.
So this
death.
is all in conjunction with the big one imploding. FTX.
Oh,
FTX.
here, look at the last
And
one.
apparently there's multiple exchanges that are underwater.
Nikolai, one of the first ones, the cryptocurrency lending platform, was reportedly found dead in a Puerto Rican lake just hours after tweeting
I
that
read
he
that.
suspected U.S. and Israeli intelligence agencies plotting to kill him. So
I read
he
that
makes the
one.
gesture, he says it, and all of a sudden he's found dead in a lake.
Wow.
Could he
Yeah.
have said that then killed himself?
Could have, I guess.
Why?
I mean, who knows?
Highly unlikely, though.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, you
I
got
don't-
all
I don't
that
know.
money, and,
So
and
here's the
here's
thing
the other
about
thing.
this.
Where does the money go?
But their money?
They're
Well, it's the company.
billionaires.
It's the company's money, right?
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, we're talking about tremendous cyber value, like lost,
Correct.
right? When Bitcoin and all the other cyber currencies or cryptocurrencies started tanking, that's when people were like, ah, shit, because all this time they're millionaires, but they're not really millionaires
Right.
because they haven't sold it yet. It's all on paper, millionaires, just like the stock market,
Right.
just like the stock
yeah.
market.
So it's an asset, and then
Yeah,
at
and it's worth this right
Yeah.
now. But then it started tanking, and then people were like, "Okay, it's time to cash out. Let's go ahead and make the millionaire thing be real." I know I just lost 30%, but hey, I'm still a millionaire. Well, everyone did that. They made a run. Basically, it was a run on the bank.
Correct.
FTX, for people that don't kind of understand how it went down, FTX exchange, what people were like, okay, I want to sell my crypto now. I want my money. Well, everybody attacked it at once, and they didn't have the money to back it up. And so they went belly up, went bankrupt.
Well, no bank has the value of cash on hand
No.
in case if everybody for that bank came in and says and pulled their money, they couldn't do it.
No. But they're regulated, and they're backed by the FDIC.
Correct. Now they could probably get it
Yes.
up to $100,000.
That's right.
So that's what happened. Is it was $28 billion.
Yeah.
Gone.
Gone. Gone.
And they just arrested that guy.
They did. And
Are
they
you talking about the guy in the Bahamas?
They arrested him, and some thought is he was about to be called in front of Congress.
Yeah, and they busted him like the day before.
The day before, and now he's not allowed to testify in front of Congress.
Oh, so
you
think,
wonder.
so they're protecting somebody.
Yeah,
Like the
you
Democrats?
wonder.
Huh?
Like the Democrats? Because he was a huge Democrat donor.
That's what kind of the thought is. Biden said okay, or not Biden, but who the hell is the Attorney General? Merrick Garland
Yes.
pulled the trigger at that point.
Yeah, he was like, we can't risk
Yeah, we can't have him go up front.
outing anyone.
Right. So arrest, in jail.
No
He's not
bond.
testifying.
No bond.
Yeah, no bail. Well, I wouldn't either. He still has money.
Yeah, he's worth $100 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, no bail. So no bond, no nothing. He's stuck
Yeah,
there.
the guy's kind of a freak. You hear about his lifestyle. He was in a polyamorous relationship. He lived in a house with a bunch of people, and they just shared juices and wieners and stuff.
Wow.
So
They share wieners.
yeah,
Like all
And they're all kind of eccentric people too. I mean, they're not pretty people. Just not that
yeah,
it
they're
matters.
they're
but
like the losers in high school that like
yeah.
I mean,
somehow became
they
million
had
and
some
billionaires.
girl on there, and whatever, man. That's some. I don't know. Whatever, man.
Well, speaking of a shocking, inexplicable death, you got the coach,
Oh yeah.
Michigan State, Leach,
No,
No,
not
what's his
Michigan
name?
State, Mississippi.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mike Leach.
Leach.
He just collapsed at his house and died a few days later.
They said he had a heart condition.
A heart attack.
Well, they said heart. In the one I read was heart condition. And what do you think? What is my mind? Because I've said it a million times.
Old age and bad eating.
Vaccine.
No, old age and bad eating. It's not all vaccine.
I think I can't help but I go there first.
No.
Whenever somebody says, because that's a Mayo whatever. Mayo.
No, it stopped the blood going to his brain.
But you know what I'm talking about. There was a heart condition, the Mayo something, that's caused by the
Carditis?
vaccine. Myocarditis, yes.
The most higher learning facilities in Mississippi will soon require all of its employees to receive COVID-19 vaccines or face termination. On Monday, the state's Institutes of Higher Learning Board of Trustees, which include blah, blah,
This is
blah.
recent?
This was, it says Mike Leach asked about Mississippi's vaccine mandate. So
That was
naturally-
three. That was a long time ago.
That was about a year ago. Sorry.
Still.
So I'm not saying I'm not saying it is
how
or
long
isn't.
it takes.
But my mind doesn't go there. I goes to he wasn't healthy. He was only 61,
I know.
so that's not too far off from
I
us.
just can't help it. I can't. There's so many people just dropping dead. So many just dropping dead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, DeSantis
and-
is now seeks a grand jury investigation for the COVID-19 vaccines. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said he plans to petition the state Supreme Court to convene a grand jury investigation any and all wrongdoing with respect to the COVID-19 vaccines. The Republican governor, who is often mentioned as a possible presidential candidate in 2024, gave no specifics on what wrongdoing in the panel would investigate. But there's a long thing
I think there's going to be a lot of stuff coming. But the problem is, I thought they were given immunity. I thought
they were.
Well, I mean,
they were given immunity for.
Well, they may be given immunity for people suing them, but that doesn't give them. It doesn't give the people immunity for pushing the envelope on these things,
like pursuing criminal activity.
Well, let's just say, first of all, the vaccine wouldn't even exist had it not been a quote unquote emergency. All right.
Yeah.
So in
Project Warp Speed.
That's
Warp
the
Speed.
only reason that you can go
Which
out
was
and
Trump.
you can make an emergency vaccine is because there's no other treatment, and that's why they suppressed ivermectin and hydrochloroquine. Those were extremely effective on the
no
virus.
alternative was allowed if
Yeah.
you're going to have an emergency use vaccine.
So
that was
they
done.
lied.
That was done by Trump.
Well,
That was the government.
well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Trump was Project Warp Speed,
yeah,
and his thing was we're going to have a vaccine by the end of the year, and he did.
and you did.
So that's not a Biden or a Democrat thing. That was a Trump administration thing.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, I don't think it's a partisan thing.
No, I think it's the
a
government.
Yeah, I think it's a irresponsible, shove it down our throats before we were ready government thing.
Correct.
Overreaction.
Correct.
totally.
Wanting the power, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think it was Trump. It was during his. I mean, see,
Well, it
I
was.
think
He was
the
a
play
huge
was-
proponent for it.
He was.
Well,
He talked
I mean,
about it a lot.
Yeah, but but he wasn't the one. I mean, look, he wasn't the one pulling the strings on getting. He wanted a vaccine, yes, but he didn't force the vaccine onto people.
Well, he was playing hardball with those pharmaceutical companies,
Yeah, well,
Big
to
time.
come up with something.
and they did.
I'm going
But
to
he's
agree with
not
you,
the-
Sean. I'm going to agree with you. He
he's
wasn't
not the one-
advocating for.
No, because he's the one that was kind of like talking about hydrochloroquine. And
He was.
just like, and he was like hydrochloroquine. He was trying to explain it. He
Well, that's
couldn't,
what-
and they were
well,
like, "Oh,
yeah,
what
he
do you
was-
mean?
he was
You're gonna
like-
inject bleach in your body."
He
They
said
made
we
fun
need
of
to
him.
attack this with everything we've got.
Well, I get that, but at the same time, he instituted Project Warp Speed, the vaccine, and
Yeah.
touted his achievement on getting the
I know he
vaccine
did.
by the
He
end of
did.
the year.
You're absolutely right.
I think his administration, the whole
don't-
administration was infected from the prior administration, and he
Oh,
never
it's
hit
the same
ground
people.
running.
Yeah, it was the same people.
He never hit the ground
especially at the
running.
CDC.
And they
Same
took
people.
so long to be able to approve his cabinet members. He was 14 months in before he can actually fill his cabinet.
I still hold Trump partially responsible for all this.
And like you said, to me, it's government.
Yeah, it's the government.
It's just government.
If Biden is the fault for everything going on today, the buck stops here.
Right.
Right. Whether he didn't argue hard enough, and that doesn't seem like Trump to me,
Why do you say Trump deserves some of the blame?
because he's the one who started the whole vaccine thing.
And he probably pushed it too fast. He in other words,
Okay, his hands are not
so
clean in this.
he was all
Yeah,
about
but
clearing hurdles for these
regardless
pharmaceutical
which
companies.
president was, if you're the president of the United States, wouldn't you push to get a vaccine
Well, sure, that's what I
regardless
mean.
who you are?
Sure, whether it was Obama, Biden, or Trump. Trump was in place at the time, so he's got his hands dirty in it.
And he cleared
I
all
don't think
sorts of,
they're
sorts of
dirty.
hurdles.
Well, I do,
How are they dirty?
because he's the one who pushed for this, and so such fast turnaround.
And he cleared hurdles for them.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean it's dirty. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the dirty part.
No, his hands are. I think you're just listening to it wrong. They're not dirty, but his hands are involved in
Right.
this.
He's
Yeah.
They're not clean. He can't walk away and go, I had nothing to do with this. Oh, yeah, he did.
Well, okay. Well, from that perspective, I could say, yeah. Well, of course,
he
was
is
trying
culpable.
He was
culpable.
being
Is that the right word? Culpable.
he was being advised to take action. I mean, he's trying
Right.
to be the best president he can. If he didn't do it, then there would have been what's the flip side of that?
Yeah,
Well,
but here's the thing. So he boasted that he removed all the red tape,
Correct.
right? He removed the red tape. Well, sometimes the red tape, and I know I'm being totally talking out of both sides of my mouth now, because back then I would have been like, oh, this bullshit bureaucracy and bullshit red tape, and he cleared it. Yeah, good job. Well, now in hindsight, if they're clearing red tape that makes them not have to do human trials,
Right.
and not
Yeah,
have
but-
to make sure that the vaccine is safe and
But
not
the buck
and not do this
stops-
and not do that,
The
well,
buck
then that's not
stops-
right.
In my opinion, the buck stops where they declared an emergency because there were no other available medicines,
And they had to force it that way.
and they lied.
They
They
did
changed
lie.
the definition of a vaccine. 1, 2, they lied about the medicines that could treat it. It's to the point where they were banning. They were banning the, what is it called, the social banning on all the media platforms. If you say,
yeah.
ivermectin is a
What's it called?
it's
Shadow
a horse
banning?
dewormer.
Oh.
Yeah, shadow banning.
Shadow banning.
And,
yeah.
you're gonna
Doctors
tell
were
people
losing
to,
their licenses. I mean, it was crazy.
ridiculous. And these
They
doctors
still
are
are.
kind of like, man, you know what? I'm a certified kinesiologist or whatever
Well, the one guy out there, that Jay Baktaken or whatever his name is, who came out, and he's a specialist in lockdowns, and he says this is going to be terrible.
Right, it was.
And they shut him down. He's one of the ones that Elon Musk just released in one of his Twitter file things, right?
Yeah.
But
Right.
he was one that was suppressed.
Yeah, they shut him out.
They
And
shut
he's
him
now
out.
talking about it.
And he was right.
It was right.
Well,
There's going to be
I-
a lot
I
of
don't-
reflecting on how this all
And-
But there's a
you know
lot
what?
of people who want to go back to that.
those
Still.
are socialist
go
people
back and do
because
lockdowns?
you know
Yes.
why? It's because
Power.
they're sucking off the teat of the government
Yep.
because well, you know what? If you're going to put me on lockdown, I can't work. If I can't work, I'm going to have to be giving my food. Just give me my block of cheese. I'll play some video games and whack off to porn.
Yeah,
Wow.
essentially.
Did porn whacking off age
Dude, I'm just saying. I mean,
increase
what-
during COVID?
you know what I'm thinking? In the mentality of a 25, 30-year-old
Yeah, I got
person.
you. I know what you mean.
It's just like they've got no. They don't have the
loved it.
sense of I've got to take care of my family, the family growth. I've got generations to support. I've got my parents to think about, my grandparents to think about.
Yeah.
They don't think about the repercussions of economically of what's happening today because they live in a bubble.
Right. No,
Right.
I agree.
And I think that bubble is created by lack of education that our school systems are currently putting on them.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just drinking a lot of Saints Alley.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
Nice
it's
segue.
interesting. It's this.
What?
It's
That was so
interesting.
smooth.
Was
Today's,
it? You
uh,
like that?
Today's
No.
bourbon that we picked was we bought the Saints Alley about a month or so ago, and it's been on the list of things to drink. Now, we all tasted this, and it is kind of hot. It's 107 proof. It's called the Saints Alley. It's
It
the
feels
Nobleman.
hotter than that.
I thought it was
What
too.
would you
but,
say? Would you say?
it's
Jeff?
107 proof. He said he thought it was hotter than that.
Yeah, it tastes hotter. We've had hotter than
That's what I
this.
meant.
Yeah,
so-
we've had hotter than this, and it was those were nowhere near as hot.
So what? I was going over the verbiage on the bottle, and it says they're a blend of straight rye whiskey finished in Tojaki casks. All right.
Wow.
So this is a rye. So this is rye. That's
So
why
number-
it's got
number
that
one,
spice.
it's
yeah,
rye,
this is way
but
too rye.
It is the other spin on this, which we're kind of like, what is that? Is that it was put in Tojaki. I don't know how
What
to
is
pronounce
that?
it.
Is that a Japanese? What is
So-
tojaki?
Well, it says, ever heard of cognac or Tokaji cask finish? This is from 2008. The little article. It says
Oh,
No.
tokaji.
Tokaji. Traditionally, Scotch
Tokaji.
whiskey was matured either in bourbon cask or sherry cask. A couple of decades later, some marketing guru may have advised to leading single malt distilleries to use bourbon casks for the first period of their masturbation. Just joking. I thought I just
Whoa.
said it. For the maturation. Then
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
maturation.
So, anyways,
Close.
have you ever tasted a
Yeah.
cognac cask finish whiskey? That's essentially what it is. The cognac is. Let me go skip down here. I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. This is a special late harvest wine, essentially, from the northeastern region of Hungary called Tokaj.
Well, look up here on this.
Mm-hmm.
It says barrels that previously held tokaji, a noble rot, sweet wine from Hungary.
There you go.
Rot?
Where do you see rot?
What's the ROT?
ROT, a noble rot, sweet wine.
Special late harvest
That's
wine
disgusting.
from northeastern region of Hungary called Tokaj, a Vinum Regum Rex Vinorum, as we say it in Hungary, which means the wine of kings, the king of the wines. And it really is. There's Scotch whiskies into the ex-Tokaji wine casks for a couple years. So
All right, so
this does have, in my opinion, I've tasted Scotch that has some influence from this. Have you?
Yeah, there's something extra going on with this.
Yeah, so very fancy, right? Fancy bottle, fancy description, fancy this, fancy that. End of the day, not good.
Well, I don't think it's bad.
I don't think
I
it's
think
good.
it's just different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's not good.
It's got a little. I
I'm not a
taste like
fan.
a hint of peat almost.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I'm
the.
not a fan.
I think it's the sweet fennel or the white lilies that you're, or potential Turkish tobacco.
No, I
that you're-
taste the
that you're
rot
tasting.
sweet wine.
Uh,
That's what
I think as
taste.
soon as I said rot sweet, Paul was just like, "Yeah, I'm done with this."
I'm drinking it faster so I can drink more beer.
I'm engulfed in the brandied apples and
Ooh,
the
that sounds
spiced
good.
Christmas
Yeah,
cake
it's
and the
not-
honey dried cherries, the coca, and the wisp of smoke from Grandpa's pipe.
I could think of 170 other bourbons I'd drink before this again.
What?
No.
Yeah,
Ah,
a
Williamsburg?
whole bunch of them out
The
there that
Giant
are
95.
way better.
Get out of here.
Yeah, they-
Backbeat.
Okay, I didn't say
Good
backbeat.
Lord.
Oh, well, why do you keep bringing up the ones that I bought?
Well,
Well.
Whatever.
Like
you
your
could list one of the ones that you got that weren't good.
Which one was
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, my bad. I thought you guys were all like 60 for 60.
that? Well,
I'm trying
No.
I'm really reaching.
You're really not. Ridiculous.
anyway, it's not bad. It's just different.
I don't. I mean, seriously, I'm really reaching here. So.
Shut up.
We need to go back and try some. of them
Oh, you
again.
know what? How about the Oregon Spirit Wheat one? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That one was.
I thought that was good.
Jeez.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
I
we
think
can't
it's 6.5,
win.
7 for me.
I'm not going higher than 5.
Yeah. It's
I'm
6.5,
about
7.
Yeah, well, I'm the same thing. I'm about 6.5, 7. I don't think it's horrible. I mean, would I pour another glass? No,
Now what?
not today.
Well, there you go.
Maybe you try it
that
on a-
tells you everything you need to know.
Maybe we need to try it on a cube next time.
Yeah, but isn't that like trying to save it?
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, no. Sometimes they're better on a cube.
Well, I think it's the thickness, the molasses part of it. It's kind of really.
It's viscous.
Yeah, I think that perhaps maybe a little dilution would bring
See,
out some
again,
of those
you guys are
flavors.
trying to save it. Oh well, let's add water. Oh well, let's add some Sprite to it.
Oh,
Oh,
come on!
well, maybe-
Nobody said
maybe
anything
a little
about
Diet-
Sprite.
maybe a little
Maybe
Coke.
it will get better. All right. Anyway,
No, it's all right. It's a nice sipping bourbon.
yeah, it's not the absolute worst thing I've ever had in my life, so that's fine. It's fine.
It's
Saints Alley. So
it's an Iron Root.
pick it up at your local liquor store.
It's an Iron Root brand, which is just made up the street, which we can go visit anytime.
What do you mean? It's
Up in
made up
Denison.
the street.
It's made in Denison.
This is made in Denison.
Yes.
Get it out.
Yes. Iron Root. You've heard of Iron Root, right?
Yeah, but it's like nothing Texasy about it. I mean, look at the label and the.
Well, it's probably a joint thing with somebody from Tokaji.
Yeah, to me, I would say this is
Well,
some
it's
Euro.
from Hungary. It's a Hungary style bourbon, essentially, because they use the casks from the wine that they make, the king of the wines. They use the casks from that. So I'm assuming, based on the tasting notes from the wine, this is a direct product of that. You know, we all agree. It's
Yeah.
not fantastic, but it is what it is.
It's
kinda
not
like,
horrible. I should soften my
It's like
my angry language.
when you're used to drinking Coca-Cola all the time, and all of a sudden you've got a Dr. Pepper, you're like, "What the hell is this all about?"
Right.
You know,
I got
mean,
you.
because Dr. Pepper is a whore when you were talking about the colas. I mean, because you got root beer, which is solid. It's root beer. You got Dr.
You
Pepper.
dogging-
Sarsaparilla.
You don't like Dr. Pepper?
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
You
just
called
saying
it a whore.
well, it's the
I
whore of the
know.
pops because you're essentially traditionally Dr. Pepper was supposed to be like a collection of like
Of medicine.
a just a variety. It was. I think that it originally came from. It was a mistake. I think they originally just had a shitload of sodas.
So it's
And they-
23 ingredients.
There you go.
23.
Or 23 or
Really?
27.
Yeah,
23 or
it's
27
on
ingredients.
The can.
Yeah.
It's on the can, for God's sake.
I don't buy Dr. Pepper.
You don't?
Doctor, yeah, no.
Oh, it says 24.
yeah, Jeff.
Where is it? 24
Oh,
flavors.
23 flavors.
23 redirects here for the Chinese medicine drink. See 24
Oh.
flavors. Oh, I see.
So Dr. Pepper carbonated drink created
So
in
the
18
Chinese
days
just
by
is like, I'm going to
farmers-
one up you. That's what that was.
Pharmacist Charles Alderton in Waco, Texas. I didn't know that was a local.
Yeah, it was down in Waco.
I had no idea it was a local soda. Very nice.
Wacko.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, yeah, we jumped to Dr. Pepper. I love Dr. Pepper.
I like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I'm not throwing stones at Dr. Pepper. I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes I'll drink it. I can't drink soda pops with. I don't like ice in my soda pops. I don't like them watered down.
I like cold cans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once it gets warm, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah,
Then
I'm with you there.
Pop it back in the refrigerator, but
Yeah, it'll get real not syrupy, but seems thicker when it gets warm.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
when it gets warm, yeah.
Yeah, when it gets warm.
yeah. Sometimes when I'm getting ready for lunch, and I just love when you first,
That burn.
the burn from an ice cold can, and so I get so excited. I make my lunch, and I go over to the refrigerator, and all the boys took all the cold ones out, and then I had to look at the floor where there's a warm one in the case, and I'm like,
And then you rummage through the back of the refrigerator like,
Oh.
I hid one back
Then
here.
you stick it in the freezer and set the timer for 30 minutes.
I put it in my from now.
Keith
What I do
did
is I had them in my beer case, right? I do. I move a couple
Right.
cans around.
Well, great.
I
Now they're
shoved
hearing it.
I shoved the Coke in the back, and I cover it up with beer cans, and then that's my emergency. The boys didn't know about it.
Jeez.
Can I have to? Because I tell them, I yell at them every time you take a can out, put one in. It's not that hard.
Well, dude, you only have one kid there now.
And well, all his friends.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well, you
Oh
gotta
my
tell-
God,
you
they
gotta
drink-
tell all his
I swear to
friends.
God, they drink it. Between them, they probably drink, I don't know, 6 to 10 a day.
Jeez.
It's ridiculous. And
You just
Shelly's
get a
like,
2-liter.
And Shelly's like, you drank a 6-pack every day in high school. And I was like, okay. I didn't know any better. And I was the only kid in the house. All my siblings were off at college or whatever. I was like, what the hell? And they were cheap. I did though.
Yeah,
I did
I'll
though.
tell you what,
I got
Pop-
home from high school.
Just-
This is so bad. I got home. I would walk into the kitchen, open the refrigerator, grab a Coke, pop it completely down the whole thing, and then grab a second one and go sit down and watch TV
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, I didn't have pop.
Every
in
day.
the house.
I probably did drink 4 to 6 sodas within getting home from school and before dinner.
That is not healthy.
Not
No.
healthy at all.
You probably have like intestine rot.
Yeah, I have rot sweet wine.
It's probably why you shit 3 times a day.
Yeah, no shit.
I shit a lot.
Yeah.
And no shit.
Well, I've
Lots
noticed
of
that
yes
the
shit.
that the
Full of shit.
that the price for pop is getting stupid expensive.
Stupid.
I was
Is it?
like, it's crazy how expensive it is.
I don't get it.
I only
Is it
buy
the carbon dioxide?
I only buy it at Costco now because it's
Yeah, but even that, no, I'm being serious. That's part of the reason why
CO2 is not expensive.
something happened. You can Google it or something, but I
it's
heard,
like, it's like $8 a 12-pack now.
yeah, something happened that made making soda more expensive because you're not lying. It's really expensive right now.
Yeah, I don't drink as much, and it's like I'm not gonna spend that much on a damn case of beer
Yeah,
or
well,
on pop.
But I'm an addict, so I
Oh.
have to have my soda.
No.
Not every day. I'm doing better on that. But anyway, so
So how are you guys doing on your Christmas shopping?
I think I'm done.
not quite done, I think. I like to buy, there's gifts that the boys ask for.
Like dildos.
No, none of them have asked for that, thankfully.
No,
That'd be very awkward.
Here, son.
This
This is the one I had when I was younger.
Yeah, this one works really well. Your mom and I are just thrilled with it.
It gyrates.
Anyway, Anyway,
Bluetooth's off the pillow.
so I like to I'm trying to get into a habit of buying something
Induction charging.
buying something for them that they would never, which is something cool that they would never buy for themselves. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
like,
but then they go, Dad, that's stupid.
well, I hope they don't, right?
My
But
sons
it's like,
have done that.
but you know what I mean? It's like cool, kind of cool man gifts or cool
So, like,
boy gifts.
I changed my tune last week, and you guys kind of made fun of me a little bit because I was like,
Oh,
"Fuck
and you were
those
like-
presents," But and I still stand behind that. I mean, I was excited about the Christmas season, but I still stand behind them. Fuck them presents because I'm tired of buying them presents that they don't appreciate.
Well, you stress out on what am I going to get?
Yeah.
And you're up, it's like,
Well, I
Yeah.
spent so much
Thanks,
money
Dad.
on them, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just not.
right.
Yeah,
You know?
I love it when I buy them gifts and then like 3 days after Christmas, it's sitting in the wrapping, like where they opened it. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll use it.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
I wore that shirt.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, right. Right.
The Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, I've done the most about. What about you guys with your spouses? My wife and I have gotten to the point where we're not going to buy each other stuff. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Julie and I get each other stuff.
Do you?
I usually try to find something, like you said, something unique. Like, I've had some opportunities over the year with who I work with. That way back when I got her a BlackBerry I got it free through work.
Right.
That's when the cell phones first started out, and the BlackBerry was
I
cool,
love the BlackBerry.
right? I got her that. I got her an iPad. I got her a computer. I got her a monitor. I try to get stuff like that she'll never ask for.
Right.
Um,
And it's so romantic.
it is. It's put some dick pics on there, and it's good to go.
Oh, I didn't think about the
Wow.
junk
Yeah.
stuff a way to provide junk pics.
Well,
to
that
your
worked
wife.
perfect with you because it's got a very small display screen.
The BlackBerry. Yes.
Maybe I should get one of those little
AXI code.
the screens that you can like load it from the cloud and it changes the picture. Right?
Like a picture frame.
Yeah, like a picture. Like I put one of those on her desk at school, and I could send her dick pics.
God.
She'd be sitting there all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I tell you,
and the kid's like, "What's that?"
I've had some
You should probably ignore that.
horrible luck with sending my wife. I mean, first of all, I'm not proud of it, but
Are you about to admit something that is going to horrify us?
well, here's the thing.
You've had bad luck with sending junk pics to your wife?
I've sent a couple just for fun. Like
God.
first of all, there was this,
what other reason? It's for fun, right?
Yeah, well, of course. Well, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's for harassment if you don't know the chick. You're
Well,
like,
true,
Hey,
true.
check this out.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
I mean,
a tip.
so Tara went out with her girlfriends, and I was whatever. So I sent her a picture, and she was driving, and the phone goes off, and she's like, "Oh, your husband just sent a text," and so she said, "Well, open it up, see what it says."
Oh no.
Boom, that happened. Then there was the time
no.
where
Did they discuss it amongst themselves?
I don't know. Then there was the time. Oh, but I took, of course, an incredible picture.
Was it the
maybe
correct angle.
Oh, yeah.
it
no,
was the
I'm
correct
sure it's-
angle. It was the widescreen to make it
Fisheye.
very elongated. The fisheye. Of
Oh
course.
yeah. The artistic merit to that
Oh,
picture was probably fantastic.
Incredible. Light scheme had a lot to do with
Yeah.
it.
Was there a sunset in the background?
During golden hour.
God bless.
Golden hour.
That's
I
when the
did
sun's
it
setting.
also to
wow.
her laptop.
Check out my junk in the
So-
golden hour, honey.
I set the laptop, her not her screensaver, but the back
The wallpaper.
the wallpaper. I set the wallpaper to a picture of it as well,
Oh no.
and
No.
her cousin opened it up, and
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Like talk about bad judgment. Like, like really?
It'd be like, don't let anyone look at your stuff ever
Right.
again, because you never know what's going to be on it.
wow. Those two experiences, and they're done and deleted, and
Yeah.
I'll never do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time I just to play a little joke. on it.
Here we go.
I said, "Is it safe to send a dirty pic?" And then of course I sent a picture of my feet that were muddy.
She was probably like, yes,
Yeah. No, she's the opposite. No, don't you dare. Really?
Yeah, I've never got up the urge to text because my fear is I
She'll
actually
send
hit-
it to all of her
well,
friends.
no, I'd actually hit my sister instead
or
or my dad or something like that. You're sending and you hit send and you're just like, oh my god, there is no recall.
Have you ever done that?
No, I have not.
I mean, just in general, not with the dick pic, but just
Sending
setting
a
up.
text to the wrong person? Sure. Oh, that was meant for Brandon, or that was meant for your mom, or something like that. It was nothing bad, but it was like a response to something, right?
Yeah, I guess I've done that too.
Because you're texting, and then they're in order. And you're
Yes.
thinking, oh, I just texted with my wife. All of a sudden, my sister sends a text, and you don't realize
I
it.
did that last week on the I said I was trying to respond to
Yeah.
Emily, and I said
Yeah.
you guys not home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've never gotten up the courage, and maybe I just take it on my phone and then hand it to her and say, here, look at that.
Okay,
Well-
first off,
Or get show her the real thing.
they don't
because-
really want to see it, just
Oh.
so you know. It's apparently, I've been told it's just women don't think it's all that attractive. Like it's not,
Well, until they're in the mood, then
it's
they
not
like it.
pretty. Okay, yeah, well, that's different.
Wow.
That's different. But it's not something you frame and put on the wall.
So
It's not like
have
a
you guys
pretty-
done a lot of your shopping like online, or do you go to the store?
I've
I
done
do-
both.
I do all mine online. As a matter of fact, I was actually considering, you know how I spend so much money on Amazon that they have a credit card, right? Where you get 5% back.
Oh, they tell you how much money you could save?
Yeah, right, exactly. They say that.
5% back?
Yeah, it's 5% cash back on Amazon purchases.
Really?
I know, and I'm like, dude. And right now, I use I have a Southwest Airlines card, which I think is Chase, and we get a lot of points. And then yes, it's kind of nice to take a free trip somewhere, but it's usually like
Well, so I saw
not far, and it's only just
the-
my wife and I.
the
I'm thinking
Amazon
of
card,
switching.
and they wanted like they give you like $150 right
Yeah.
off the bat. Boom, here you go, $150,
Boom.
and they give you 5%.
Yeah. I mean,
You're certain?
no,
5%?
I saw it today. I saw it today.
I mean, because I'll go get that credit card if it's 5%. For as much as I buy Amazon.
Bring it up, Mr. Producer. What is the deal on the Amazon credit card? Just look up Amazon credit card.
Because I've been purchasing gifts for the kids and for everyone, and I usually select the little spot on there that this is a gift and wrap it.
Right? Oh yeah.
And,
No,
Amazon's
amazing.
Yeah, so it shows up in a box already wrapped. I don't have to do shit.
All right, what does it say? Amazon Rewards Visa credit card might not be the best option if you are after rewards. Interesting. It's not as easy to get as the basic Amazon store card. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess you have to have high, really, really good credit, I guess. Given in the form of an Amazon gift card. Well, that might be okay. Well, nothing wrong with that.
Just go to
Amazon. Spend it anyway.
Yeah, just go to Amazon and see if it's because it's usually right on the front, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, usually. Yeah,
just
usually
see
it's
if
right
Amazon.
there.
Yeah, right
there we
there.
go. See, 5% back at Amazon.com and Whole Foods Market with eligible Prime membership, which we have.
Are there different levels?
What the hell? I mean, guys, we put everything on the card and pay it off every month, right? That's the idea. But you're trying to rack up the points. So I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Maybe it's more valuable because we spend so much money at Amazon. We really do. I'm always just buying stuff.
If it's 5% back, which Prime
and no
exclusive,
annual fee, and it says on certain items you can get 0%, 6 to 18 months purchase.
Yeah, but look at that. After that, it's 18 to 26%.
Well,
that's terrible.
Yeah, but all of them are that way.
No, mine's not.
Well, no, they are for the 0% interest promos.
I don't do those. I have a credit card through USAA, and I don't sign up for those.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a discount tire card. I've got a.
I do some of those. I got forget furniture or something like that.
Yeah. Nebraska Furniture Mart card.
Right,
I've got a rooms to. I think we have a rooms to go card.
But a regular
and
Visa
again,
card,
so that you can get the 4 years 0% interest.
Yeah, but
right?
for the regular Visa card,
you know, it's crazy. See the top right corner? That's the
drone?
exact desk base that I've saved
Desk
to purchase.
base.
So that is a articulating. I don't know if it's articulating, but it's a elevating desk. One that's adjustable.
Are you gonna
It's
get that?
electronic.
The reason why it's the exact one you bought is because it's probably your account that it's linked to.
it is.
Oh.
It said, "Hey, Sean, you could buy that for
Oh, is that what it
$229."
said up there? Okay.
Probably.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, this is your account.
Interesting why my account's on that computer.
Interesting. Maybe it is. Maybe it
See,
isn't.
Sean.
Hey, there it is.
Yeah.
Delivered to Daniel.
Yeah.
There
Son
you
of a
go.
bitch, I knew it. Austin.
Anyway, I don't know if it's a smart thing to do or not. I need to go back and read that other art. Because they say if you really want the maximum, benefit.
See right there, Sean.
You
Unwrap
gotta compare these
$150
cards, right?
Amazon gift card instantly upon approval.
So you could use this Visa card anywhere. Do you
Yes.
get 5% off if I go to Target?
You get
No,
5% off
Only
the
on Amazon.
select. They listed them.
Scroll down.
1% on
5%.
gas stations and
Earn at Amazon.com and
5% on Whole Foods. Isn't that where the bar is?
no,
Oh, where's
that's
the
Market Street.
Oh, damn
Market
it!
Street. Yeah.
Well, we need to go back.
But
Yeah.
Get that 120.
2% on the other ones. Right? And all other purchases are 1%. But I mean, I'm talking about how much money I spend on Amazon itself. I get 5% back. That's pretty good. I mean, if you spend a shitload of money at Amazon, that's worth it to you. But
you spend
if you
$1,000
don't,
bucks, it's $50.
Still.
Well, it's $50, I guess.
Well, I mean, money's money.
Is that better than my
I don't know.
Southwest card? I don't know.
I
That's
don't
what it's hard to compare those things,
Will
right?
$50 get you a ticket somewhere? I don't know how much money you spend a year.
Half-
$10,000?
To $500,000 a year.
$10,000, then you're getting $500,
Yeah, I guess we gotta go back and do the math.
right? Then you
And
go.
they tell you that. They say, you know how much money you spent this year? You could have saved this much money.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, I have.
I don't like Amazon.
Well, I do need to.
I love
really. That's kind of odd.
No, I don't like buying stuff off of Amazon. It's convenient, and I'll do it.
I love it.
Is this going to fall in the same categories? I don't go through a drive-through.
No, I've done no, no, not at all, not at all. Because there's certain things I won't buy on Amazon. Put it that way. Because
like
I did,
fresh fruit.
Yes, I won't buy food off of, or lotions or medicines or anything like that. Because I did a lot of research for work. Because we were opening up some retail stores,
Okay.
and they wanted me to buy a bunch of stuff from Amazon, tech stuff, and they couldn't understand why I couldn't get some stuff and the problems around it. So I researched. I went on to forums. I got onto forums that Amazon people were on, that the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And there's a tremendous amount of fraud on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Like
Not
what?
just
Like
that's-
how?
Oh, dude. I'll give you one example. Xbox controllers. Just one.
They say they're new and they're not.
Well,
No,
no,
not just that.
they're not Xbox controllers.
That they're original
They look-
OEM.
They look just like them, but they're not Xbox
Oh, so they're
controllers.
selling stuff they're lying about what they're
Yeah,
selling.
so
Correct.
there's a large
Correct.
bin, and they throw them in this fucking bin, and they pull them out, and it could be an Xbox one or it could be a generic.
Correct.
And you can't tell the difference?
Yeah, because all the labeling says Xbox, so you don't even know until you open it all up, you set it up, and it's just like, yeah, this is
Well, now
Xbox.
that's it. Now remember, Amazon is a marketplace, so they can't control every vendor's quality
The only way they do
or
that
whether
is
they're lying.
the
or
only way
not.
they do that is they accept your return, no questions asked.
They do. Yeah.
they do.
And then if you complain, if that company gets enough complaints, they'll shut it down. What happens is this happened when they opened it up to China,
Oh yeah. China
and the
lies about everything,
and
man.
the proliferation of all these stores.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are from China, and they copy everything.
Everything.
I was reading the forum where a guy bought some Samsung cameras, I think.
Yeah.
Or TV or whatever it was, and he went to register the warranty. So he got on the Samsung, and they're like, "We don't recognize the serial number. We don't recognize the serial
Wow.
number." So he called them,
Oh, I'd be so pissed.
their hotline, and he's like, "Yeah, I bought this stuff off of Amazon and brand new. I need to register it." And they're like, "Give me this." They're like, "Yeah, that's not one of our serial numbers. What you have is not Samsung.
It's counterfeit.
It's counterfeit." Said Samsung.
The word is counterfeit. They're
Yeah.
basically stealing and making things
Correct.
what they're not.
Correct.
Well, I mean, it's the technology there, and here's the thing: you got some Joe shit in the weeds guy that comes up with the product, markets it, sends it to China to get fabricated, pays huge fees, and
Right.
China's like, you know what? We realize it's going to be a huge fee. We're going to give you a discount, and in return, you're going to allow us to make your products after we're done with making yours. And you're like, fuck it, man. If it's going to save me
Oh.
30%,
no, they steal.
whatever
They
you
steal
want.
it
They
outright.
steal it anyway.
they can. Of course, they do. But I mean, they do offer that.
And that's probably what they do to Samsung.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
also,
Oh, I know they do.
They probably
absolutely
are
do.
making those controllers in the exact same plant.
Exact same molds.
Yeah, same everything.
Well, the quality is not the same, though.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's
problem.
different materials.
The quality's not the same. The QC department is not there, and it's not the same quality.
Right.
And other things are because you'll have individual things. Like, let's say we come up with a great idea. We made this widget. It's fantastic, and it starts selling like gangbusters on Amazon.
Right.
Well, the Chinese companies research that,
Oh yeah.
and they go, "I can make that and sell it for half the price."
That's right.
Oh,
So next thing
or
you know,
less.
they knock it off because they're in China. They don't care about patents.
Yep.
No.
So they make it. It may be slightly different, but usually it's pretty damn straight on what you just made. And they're on here, and there's ways you can market it so your stuff goes to the top.
Oh yeah.
And they do that so their stuff shows at the top and your stuff is down at the bottom.
And it's more expensive.
Correct.
And it's the same
no,
damn thing.
Well, it's less expensive than
Right.
yours,
Right.
right? But it's lower quality.
And it looks
basically-
identical.
And it looks identical, and they're stealing all your sales now.
Right. I hear you.
So I buy
I'm
certain
with Jeff. I wouldn't buy some of the I would never buy. Well, I don't buy lotions or anything like that. That's
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy anything. I did buy my Alpha Brain stuff through Joe Rogan when he was the memory and focus stuff. That's really the only thing.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, dude, I buy so much stuff off Amazon. I can't believe that it's what you're buying is not real.
It's bad.
Well,
It's
I mean,
bad.
even pills.
the potential
Yes.
is that it could be there. That's really it.
Well,
The,
shit,
the
that's not
potential
good.
is-
I buy a shitload of pills off of Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are certain pills that are just fine. So I'm like certain vitamins. I'm sure that those are pure. You know, they may cut them. I don't know, but I'm sure that they're pretty clean. I'm thinking more of the line like
Like your essential
this-
oils. I've researched the essential oils, and there's some really good ones out there, and there's others out there that you read the reviews and the forums. They're like, this is crap
is this the stuff that Julie rubs on your
on my taint.
Body?
Yes. And
taint oil?
yeah,
Wow.
no, they're like, and
Yeah.
these people do tests on it, and they're like, yeah, this is full of. I don't even know what it's full of,
I
but
want
it's
to be
full
a
of.
beaver.
It's full of a certain chemical, right? Instead of a good oil, it's chemicals and shit to get.
Yeah,
that smell.
and you know, things that make it have that same aroma. Right?
Correct. Correct.
Well, I don't buy any oils from there because we do all of our stuff from Young Living, which is
Well, no, but
really good stuff.
but a lot of
But-
people buy shit like
Yeah,
that
I
off
hear
of
you.
there. And
I need to buy a full kit from you guys, or buy what is it? Is that one of the pyramid scheme things? I don't want to call it scheme. Is that
multi-level marketing.
multi-level
yes.
marketing? But you know what? That stuff worked, man. When I got that bee sting by come over your house and
The purification. Yeah.
oh my god, man, that stuff worked. It worked.
Yeah.
It was
But I tell you
amazing.
what, we buy two from you, and they work for me.
What does?
The breathe again. So when I'm congested,
Yeah.
coughing, I lather up my chest and my neck, and I'm able to sleep.
Is it Young Living as well? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, I bought it from you guys.
Oh, that's right.
couple
That's
years
right.
ago.
You did. You did.
And the deep relief soaks into the muscle, gives it a nice burn.
It works, man. That stuff
Oh,
works.
speak of deep relief, I'll
Deep
tell you,
relief.
I did my okay. So first of all, I haven't had that many massages in my life. Three, and the third one I did today, or this about last week.
Were you nude this time, or were you in your
yeah, I
swim
was down
trunks?
there, but you know it was very professional. But it was I just didn't know.
They worked around the tent.
Mhm.
This one was this one was like so painful. I've never had a massage before. They were just like, oh yeah, they get to some parts of like, oh that hurt, and then they move on to the other part. It's just like, oh, this feels
You probably had
rejuvenating.
deep tissue.
Yeah, so it turns out that I got a deep tissue one, and wow,
Go to the one I went to.
Painful.
I was like, it was like a masochist. I mean, I was not a. I was. I mean, she went like under my arms, my fucking forearms, my calves, my thighs.
Yep.
She found everything that caused pain on my body.
Right.
She hit that button.
So, but how did you feel afterwards?
Well, I was sore.
Right.
You usually feel like
But-
crap for like a day because what that does is that your body releases a bunch of toxins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When you do that, so you really feel bad usually that night.
They're doing
Yeah.
good things to you, even though it's really painful.
Well,
Right.
you know, I took. She advised I take several hot showers, and I did. I got home. I took a really hot shower to get some of those toxins out.
right.
You know, drink lots of water, which I did, and I took another shower. But I'll tell you, where she was sharing that, you know, there are masses of muscles that were just bricked together,
right.
and there's like they're woven together. I got to go in there and separate all that. You know, that's tough.
right.
You know, and she was like, "You hear that pop? You feel it?" I was like, "Yeah," and you know what? Like the third day afterwards. I mean, this happened This happened Thursday last week.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do. I feel. I mean, really, when I stretch my back, it's like there's some different shit going on.
That's great.
I mean, I never realized it.
Right.
But I'm just, you know, I'm just
Well, it's
talking
just-
about the deep stuff, man.
Yeah.
That was painful. I've never had, like I said, I've only had 3 massages, and the
Yeah.
first 2 were comfortable. This one was like, what the fuck is that all
Yeah.
about?
right.
I've had the deep tissue, and I've had the Thai massage, which was where they bent you in half and
Oh.
stuff like that.
And
But
what
you-
else did they do to you?
Well, we talked about that already.
They made him a flag
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they bend him over.
well, I almost,
bend him over
That's
and-
that's before my shoulder surgery, and
with his whitey tighties.
and I almost had to tell them to
Mhm.
stop because they were bending me in just crazy positions, and I was like, I don't bend like this anymore. Maybe it's because I need a massage and loosen up, but I've got bad
your last
joints.
name is not it's Gumby.
you know. But anyway, you should do that. It was an hour, hour and a half, and they walk on you.
How much is
Oh
that?
my
They use
God.
their feet. I don't know. Julie got it for us. It was, and I felt great afterwards. But the process of it was terrible. It was.
They
It was
walk on
absolutely
you,
terrible.
huh?
Yeah, they have. You go into a dark room. There's my wife over here, and I was laying on this bed, and they have these rafters they were holding on to.
Were there some mirrors in there?
No mirrors. It was dark. They had the
Are you
music
sure?
going and the aromatherapy.
Say
and,
some guy behind the mirror. He's got a little headset on. He's like, put this butt a little higher, please.
Yeah, but I had my boxers on. I didn't get down. I didn't get down the butt nude, just because my butthole would have been right up into the air in their face otherwise.
Nice.
And
Maybe
I was not good with that.
Maybe they're into that.
So, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect going into it.
Well,
At
man,
all.
especially for you. You just use regular toilet paper. You don't even use the wet
You
wipes.
probably had the big dingleberries on
yeah.
Oh, big
Ugh.
ones.
there, big old snowballs.
You're messy here. We clean for you.
Tweeze.
Come back later
Yeah.
after you shower.
Yeah, these going to hurt. Pluck, pluck, pluck.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Man, we're going to get in trouble for this podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Just this one?
Yeah, really. This is not worse than any other podcast.
No, but I like the massage. I don't like the painful massages. But it's necessary every now and then to get those, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you appreciate them. I mean, like you said, 3 days later, I felt great, and I still feel good now. And
Yeah.
you know, it's I'm not itching to go get another one right away, but it does. You do realize that because I had to go through that your body,
That's the way the chiropractors kind of work, too, because I'll
Yeah.
go. I don't know if you guys ever see a chiropractor, but your body gets out of whack. Your
Oh,
joints.
yeah, for sure.
And my hips get out of alignment, and they'll just pop back in place. And Julie's got really loose joints. Mine are. It's very hard for him to pop my back.
Right.
I guess I don't know why. They're tighter, but Julie's joints get way out of whack where her back will do this kind of thing, and he'll realign everything, her head,
Yeah.
and it helps with her migraines and everything.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my brother is a massage therapist, and he does like some specialty Aston patterning, which is hard to find apparently. And yes, when he gives me a massage, it's like, oh, okay, and he just
Right.
just steamrolls right past it. He's like, no, I'm just gonna
Right.
keep busting you
There's
up.
also reflexology,
Okay.
which is on the feet and the head, where I've been to these as well, where let's say you have sinus pressure. They'll press certain
Oh,
things
yeah,
on
yeah,
your
yeah.
feet that release everything in your head.
That's kind of along the lines of acupuncture too, right?
I guess, yeah, but this
Kinda
is with their
similar
fingers
a
and
little bit?
stuff. Yeah, it's just with their hands. So they don't
Right.
puncture anything. And
Right.
then there's things back here on the back of your head where they're pressing and it hurts and you're just like, "God," but it feels good when you're all done, right? And so
Sure.
it's called reflexology, and I don't know.
Remember that
There's a-
NFL quarterback that they were doing something with the needle treatment, and they punctured his lung.
Ooh,
You,
no,
you guys don't remember this? He was supposed to play. He was supposed to play in a game, and they did this treatment.
is this recent?
But this is in the last 3 years, maybe.
I don't hear that at all.
Yeah, and they did some sort of needle treatment in his back to release some injury. It was part of rehab or something, and they punctured his lung. And you're not supposed to do that. It was very
That
it
went
was very
deep then.
controversial. Like this treatment is very controversial. Yeah, just do punctured lung. Yeah, here we go. Accidentally, here it is.
Tyrod Taylor.
NFL, yeah, NFL. And when was it? Because I remember that being
20.
okay. I said 2 years ago. The team physician.
No, it's pain killing injection to cracked ribs. So he was like sticking like cortisone or something in him.
There we go.
Went a little bit too deep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, how do you think that? Do you think that guy got fired?
Yeah, pain-killing injection to his cracked ribs and punctured his lung.
Have you seen the people who do the cupping?
Cupping
Cupping on their back.
Do share.
Pull that up, Mr. Producer.
Oh.
Put up cupping.
Are we sure we want to see this?
And
I don't know.
And they use vacuuming.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought that
okay.
was for like getting zits.
No, it's like a massage.
Oh my god.
So
that looks awful.
It's like they light a match or something. They the fire.
No, they've got a.
And it leaves horrible bruises.
They've got
no.
what is it? So they got a little machine that creates a vacuum, and it literally will suck juices out of your body.
Oh, that looks awful.
They fill up with with I don't know what the fuck they fill
They
up
look
with.
like you have little breasts all over your body after they're
Yeah,
done.
and when they're done, you have all these round bruises all over your back. Put up cupping bruises, and look at that picture
a
because
form of alternative medicine in which local suction is created on the skin with the application of heated cups. It's practiced mainly
Yeah, but-
occurs in Asia, but is also in Eastern Europe.
That sounds awful. All right, let's.
So they're showing pictures of people
Yeah.
laying down. There's the bruises. So they're
Yeah.
basically they're hickeys all over your
And
body.
so that thing, is,
Essentially,
yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Yep.
All right, and so it's supposed to be removing toxins.
I don't know what it's for, but a
Well-
lot of athletes do it, and you'll see them on their shoulders. If you see those big round bruises,
Yeah,
I see a lot of athletes, a lot of football players get it done.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
well, there you have it. Cupping.
cupping. Yes, basically it's a huge hickey.
Yeah,
I don't know how long they leave them on, but obviously a while if it leaves a bruise like that. And I wonder if they're sensitive after that, like a bruise.
So
Yeah.
once placed on the skin, the vacuum force pulls skin up into the cup. Your provider uses a needle to lightly puncture your skin beforehand, and toxins leave the body through the puncture wounds during the cupping procedure, and it's usually in the form of blood. So,
How do they know it's toxins and not just blood?
Right.
well, who
Right.
knows?
Assuming they just pull toxins from the
So,
surface of the skin, right? I mean,
These
I don't know.
cupping marks are discoloration of skin due to broken blood vessels just beneath the skin, much like bruises. This indicates the level of blood and key stagnation, QI, stagnation, toxin accumulation, or dampness accumulation in your body. I think it's like fucking poking your body with a needle and that's
and
just.
just squeezing toxins
I'm not
out.
convinced that it's toxins that are coming out.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
why I
not
said
sure
that's like,
either.
it's just blood.
You know, that reminds me of a funny story. I went to A&M, and when I would go back to Houston.
About the glory hole.
No, not about the glory hole.
Oh,
But I would go back to Houston,
Is this
like
where
not far
your-
where my parents' house was.
You had your toxins stuck out of you?
No,
via
but
the glory hole.
I had one of those basketball goals that had suction cups,
All right,
big
yeah.
suction cups you put on the window. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And so I was driving back
Put that on your butt
from
cheeks?
I was driving back from home back to A&M, and I had one of those suction cups. I pulled it off, and I was just playing with it while I was driving. I was sticking it on my cheek and my forehead and on my, I was just messing around with it, right? As like a fidget spinner almost, right?
Right.
And so I kind of just stuck it on my forehead and left it there for a while I was driving. And I get to the dorm, and I walk in, and I'm, hey, what's up, guys? And they're like, what's wrong with your forehead? What did you do? I was like, oh, shit. What are you talking about? And I went to the mirror, and yes, I had a bright red circle on my forehead because I left it there too long.
Right.
And that's when I was like, and everybody was like trying to get, you got hit with a baseball. I go, all right, everybody. Everybody was like, it was Sunday night. Everybody's getting ready for the next week. And I was like, you guys take some guesses. What do you, it's all sorts of stuff. You got hit with a tennis ball. You got hit with a racquetball, blah, blah, blah. One guy was walking by the group, wasn't even paying attention. He goes, oh, you took one of those basketball suction cups and stuck it on your forehead. And I just looked at him. My eyes were really big. I was like, what, have you fucking done this before? I was like, what the hell? Anyway, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, if you leave it on, I basically cupped myself. Yeah, I did my own self-cupping.
That sounds sexual.
Yeah, kind of does.
Cupping your balls.
Anyway, it was funny. We all got a big laugh out of that one. But
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
vacuum cleaner will do it too.
I didn't do a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, if you stick it to your forehead. I know my boys would do that. Whenever they'd vacuum, they'd want to vacuum themselves. Like, you keep it there too long, it's going to keep a bruise.
Yeah.
They're like, really? They lift their shirt up. And stupid kids.
They are stupid.
Boys.
That's funny.
Now
Yeah.
one's about to graduate college.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's his birthday. So his birthday is Thursday.
Ah,
He graduates Friday
this week.
this week.
So you're going up there for the graduation.
I'm leaving Thursday,
Okay.
and we'll be there. We'll take him out for dinner for his birthday, and then his graduation is Friday,
Okay.
and then we come back. Probably spend the day up there. I don't know when we come back, either Saturday or Sunday, and then we're doing wreaths across America while we're there.
What's across America?
Wreaths across America,
Wreaths.
which is laying Christmas wreaths at the
Wreaths.
wreaths
Wreaths.
at the military cemeteries.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. That's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, Julie did it last year, or I don't think she was able to last year. It was raining or something happened, but she's done it before and she really enjoyed it. So we're going to do it while we're out there. Take an hour, 2 hours, whatever, and do it.
So at a military, a military cemetery.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In Lubbock.
Yeah, in Lubbock.
Oh, very.
Yeah, we
cool.
were going to do it here at the big one out there in Fort Worth. I guess there's a big one out there in Arlington or Fort Worth, out west somewhere.
Okay.
And she's done it there. I mean, we're going to do that, and then obviously she realized that her son's graduating, and we're going to be at Lubbock, so she scheduled it out there instead.
Who obviously a nonprofit like funds this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, but I know FWL coordinates. So the FWL ladies.
What is that?
Frisco Women's League.
Frisco Women's League.
So that's what she did with last time. And they coordinate, and they all go out there and do it.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking thousands of wreaths, right? I mean,
it's across the country, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's thousands and thousands, and they'll bring out just big truckloads of these things. And she's like, so we're bringing gloves, right? Because they're real pine, they're real wreaths, they're not fake.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I figured they were kind of like plasticky.
No.
And where are they putting the wreaths?
On the tombstones
of
the military.
I love that.
Man, I've ever shared you through my story of putting a German, French, and United States flag on Saint of Old Cemetery in France, part of the Boy Scouts, Troop 517 in Mannheim, Germany. We went out and did something similar, but they weren't wreaths and it wasn't Christmas. I think it was Veterans Day or something. And it was one Boy Scout troop and one Girl Scout troop. And I believe it was a French one, too. They had some French troop out there, but they were unisex. Isn't that crazy? They're unisex, and we have ours separated. But whatever, I don't give a fuck. We camped. So we had tents set up. We camped in the cemetery, which is kind of creepy, man.
Yeah.
And we spent the night. The very next morning, and the night was kind of cool because we got raided by the Girl Scouts.
Ooh.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah.
They did not a panty raid. They did a
jock raid.
A jock raid.
Did you get
that didn't happen. So
did you get any skin on skin contact?
We weren't even there. I mean, we went out on some sort of we just did some exploring. You know, it was kind of crazy. I mean, this was back when shit was cool. I mean, it was cool to be a Boy Scout. I mean, this was real fucking camping. We're in France. We're in a cemetery. My parents aren't there.
Right.
You know, I was just like, man, this is real. This is fun. And you know, the next morning we wake up and you know, it's Operation Get Shit Done. And where I remember I had blisters on my fingers. Could you imagine taking the sticks?
Nice.
Okay, your sticks are 3/8 of an inch thick, and and they're probably 2 foot tall, and you got to shove it in the earth about 6 inches ish. You know, so you got 3 flags set up. So we have just a stack. I've got like American flags. I forget exactly what flag I had, and I was just going to every grave, just popping it. And you've got where someone's on the right, someone's in the middle, someone's on the left. Figure it out. Don't be stupid. And there's 10,000 graves.
Wow,
10,000 graves, and
a lot.
Oh man, it was a great experience though. So with the wreaths going out there, I get it, man. It's an honor.
So an American flag, a German flag, and a Spanish
French.
French.
Yeah.
Okay, a French flag, an American flag, and a tranny flag.
Saint
exist back
of
then.
Old.
And this was to celebrate the sacrifice of the Allied soldiers.
It's Saint of Old Cemetery, so Lorraine American Cemetery and
The Germans were
Memorial.
not allies.
Let's see here.
They were the enemy.
Saint of Old France. There you go. And we went through. This is the tour that I took where we went into some of the bunkers where the Germans were coming in and the French were defending themselves.
Right.
And you went into these bunkers where they were in there for months at a time, and the bunkers went down, and you're on the side of a freaking mountain.
Right.
And I know I've explained on this on the podcast before, the type of machinery that were in there, like the turrets that they had set up. They had these big turrets that's just like
the guns of Navarone.
Yeah, these big guns, and they're like 12. The room itself was like 12 foot in diameter, and these guns, they had these these cranks, and everything was like, there's no batteries, there's no electricity.
Yeah.
So
It's
they had
all
the
gear
cranks, it's like
driven.
tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
and extremely accurate.
Yeah.
Just
So
like
like
those
so
things
many
move.
degrees this way, so many degrees that way.
Oh my gosh, man! And they were just like, and they let you get in the cockpit, and you turn it, and you're like, tick, 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 the whole thing's moving, and you can see it through this
No way.
this magnifying glass. There's a big piece of glass that you look through, and you can kind of see where you're going to be shooting at.
So
you know,
were these German guns?
These were in France. These were in France, so they're
yes.
aiming south towards Germany.
Well, north
So
towards Germany.
East.
North. I'm sorry. Yeah, they were heading north towards Germany. Listen
Interesting.
to I guess they're the Blitzkrieg when they're coming up. They were coming
No,
up.
Blitzkrieg was
boom,
the
boom,
air.
boom.
Blitzkrieg was the air raid of London.
So that's kind of. I wish they had some. There you go. There's one of the pictures of it. Doesn't have all the flags on there, but essentially that's what we did. So I remember it was.
So
It was cool. I mean,
There you are.
So I know there's lots and lots of Allied cemeteries out there. Do they have, like, people, talk about, one of my bucket list items is to go out to Normandy and see these, right, and visit all the cliffs and where they fought and where they sacrificed and
that is
the cemetery.
nowhere on my list.
No, it's high on my list.
Oh, huge on my list. But do they also have German cemeteries there?
What do you mean for German soldiers that perished in France?
Right.
No, so they were all buried there. So there's a mixture. In fact, they have people that they don't know. They have unnamed tombs.
Oh, so within all these crosses are American and German soldiers.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought
Yep.
they were like all American in a single
No,
cemetery.
Nope, you've got French, American, and German all buried in there, and you have people that are unidentified.
Right.
They don't know who they are.
Right. Okay, well that's good. That's
for
good.
like Morocco or something.
Because when I was watching that movie that you had recommended, that
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes, when I was watching that,
An uplifting movie.
so it was a World War I movie,
Correct.
right? And it depicted these young kids in Germany that were like super excited, and they got them all pumped up to fight for their country and to defend their homeland, and they were doing the absolute right thing, and they were stoked.
Oh yeah.
And then they were given uniforms that were from dead soldiers that had been mended.
Yep.
Right, had been mended, and they were super excited because they were made just for them, and they got rushed out to the front lines and thrown into the trenches, and what a nightmare.
Oh,
I mean,
it
what a
was.
nightmare for these kids.
Oh yeah.
And that was the truth. Even it doesn't matter if it was World War I, World War II, it doesn't matter if it was Japan or Germany or United States. I mean, yes, Japan and Germany were the aggressors, right? From a military strategy, military leadership. But the people they were drafting to send off to war,
They're kids.
they were kids. They were brothers. They were fathers. They were doing what they thought was the right thing to do, right?
Right.
And so it made me reflect on, everything from our perspective is America won. The Americans, you know what I mean? They beat the aggressors.
Nazis bad.
Yeah, they beat the bad guys, right? They
Right.
beat the bad guys, drove them back.
The leadership was bad.
Oh yeah, the leadership was bad. So, Germany obviously has cemeteries of their own soldiers.
I'm sure they do.
And do they celebrate them, or like in Japan, is it a shameful thing to have been a soldier
That they lost.
Well, that they lost and that they fought?
I have no idea.
I mean, isn't that an interesting concept, though? I mean,
No,
because again, we always think good guy, bad guy.
But we've got
right.
We've been in wars, and our soldiers have perished. And
Vietnam. Well, Vietnam, we didn't win that.
Well, we lost that big
time. We've got Arlington
but we were
Cemetery.
still the good guys. But we lost.
Well,
it
this
depends
is
on
from
what side you're
our
from.
point of
That's
view.
what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, the Viet Cong probably have theirs over there. Just like, look at all these
millions.
heroes.
We lost 68,000. They lost 3 million Vietnam.
How many folks did Russia lose already? Over 100,000, right?
They're saying it's already eclipsed Vietnam.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
In less than a year.
Yeah,
Vietnam was how long?
That is
we were
kinda
5
sad.
years. In Vietnam.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Unbelievable. He just throwing bodies at it.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't
Well,
care.
that's why he threw out the conscription. He's like, we need all of these young. I don't even know what the age cutoff is, but we need all these people to go fight.
And they're believing that they're fighting for a good cause. I mean, a lot of times they're.
No, I think they're all trying to get out of it.
Yeah, they're totally under-equipped, and they're like, we're fighting our own countrymen.
Yeah. Dudes like us talking about things that dudes like us, talking to dudes like us about dudes like us.
I
something
love
like that.
history,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Oh, I do too, man.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Well, guys, reminder: it's December 13th, and we are
December 2022.
We're about halfway, a little bit more than halfway to get to Christmas Day.
I hope we can do one more podcast next week before Christmas, but we'll talk about it in the next. We'll talk about it in the next podcast here.
Why wouldn't we be able to?
Well, I wasn't sure who's going to be in town, who's not going to be in town.
I'm going to be in town. In fact, we have guys that want to show up. I've got some JSL building consultants. Scott wants to come back and bring Larry, who totally missed out. He was at the Pink Floyd and Rush concert.
Nice. All right, well, let's touch on that in the next podcast.
All right, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Thanks, producer, Senor Austin.
Senor.